Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are at an early screening of The Electric State. All I know is Millie Bobby Brown, Chris Pratt, Giancarlo Esposito, and Stanley Tucci. And I think it's done by the Russo brothers. It's gonna be insane. But I'm here at TIFF for the screening, and hi, if you're new here, I'm Victoria, Toronto pop culture girly, and this is Toronto and pop culture. I'm currently waiting for my friend Sherry to join me as my plus one for this event. But the other thing I know about this movie is robots. Like 90s vibes plus robots. I saw there's Funko Pops of a Mr. Peanuts robot. There's the sign there with the smiley face guy. But kind of insane. I have no idea what to expect. I've seen some mixed reviews on it, but I think it's gonna be a turn your brain off, silly good time. Hoping so. Popcorn and soda. Oh, thank God. I'm so thirsty. I never really put down my bag first, so maybe we'll actually.
Hi there, folks. Have a seat anywhere you like.
Perfect.
It is helpful for me to fill the far side of the theater and the center seats while we're in this early stage of the game. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
That way, latecomers don't walk.
Are you ready for some crispy rats? Because he looks really dusty. Oh, I'm spilling tea. Anyways, look, I found Sherry.
I'm back.
Do you know anything about this movie?
No.
There's robots.
Yes,
That's a robot.
That one.
Chris Pratt, Millie Bobby Brown. Yeah. I think Stanley Tucci and Giancarlo Esposito, isn't it? Which is vibe. I don't know. They were in some of the press junkets. I have no clue. Want to go up? Yes, let's go up.
Set in the aftermath of a robot uprising, an alternative version of the 90s, the film follows an orphaned teenager who ventures across the American West with a cartoon-inspired robot, a smuggler, and his sidekick in search of her younger brother. In addition to Millie and Chris, this incredible cast includes Kiwi Kwan, Giancarlo Esposito, Stanley Tucci, and the voices of Woody Harrelson, Anthony Mackie, Brian Cox, Jenny Slate, Hank Azaria, Colvin Domingo, and Alan Tudyk.
You are about to watch the film though, but yeah, we did have the amazing opportunity to go to the premiere and do some interviews. If you want to check those out, they are out now on the Movie Podcast feed and on YouTube. We spoke to Chris, to Millie, Giancarlo Esposito, Stanley Tucci, the Tooch, as we like to call him. They were great. So if you're looking for a Canadian connection to this film, Pamela Anderson, who also has a doc out on Netflix right now, actually gave Millie Bobby Brown a rack of her 90s clothing. So to get her into that mindset, you'll see her all through the press store rocking the 90s fits. But yeah, it was a great time. So check those out.
Now, just before we get started, our friends at Simon & Schuster have kindly provided us with 4 copies of the illustrated novel of The Electric State that Daniel is holding up right here. And it is written by Simon Stollenhag. The first question that we have here is, The Electric State reunites the Russo brothers with Chris Pratt and Anthony Mackie. What was the first film that they worked on together? That is correct.
Millie Bobby Brown has starred in 3 other notable Netflix films and series, and in each, her character name begins with an E. Can you name these 3 characters? You're right, 11, Enola Holmes, and...
The third one is Elodie.
Yeah,
correct.
Got it.
Awesome.
Number 3, in the
really
in a 2023 animated feature film, Chris Pratt was the voice of which iconic video game character?
It's Mario.
You got it. Last question.
All right. This is my favorite one. The Electric State takes place in the alternate 90s. Which 90s group is the best-selling pop girl group of all time?
Is it the Spice Girls?
I can't see any.
Red coat? You got it. Yeah. Tonight, if you enjoy the film, share it with your friends and family. And now, without further ado, enjoy The Electric State.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So we are out of the film now. I just saw a bunch of my friends that I haven't seen in a while. But overall, first thoughts, I liked it. It was just a solid, fun movie. As I was expecting, they were definitely overreacting in a lot of the a lot of the earlier reviews and stuff, giving it really bad scores. I don't think it deserved that. I think it was just a really just fun Russo brothers movie. Definitely shouldn't be a sequel, but it pulled some heartstrings. It made me laugh a lot. And if you love Marvel or anything Russo brothers related, you will definitely like a lot of the cameos. There's so many actors that I didn't even realize when I said where I was going into it, like Kiwi Kwan and Jenny Slate's in here, and Anthony Mackie and Colvin Domingo, literally stack cast, because obviously it is the Russo brothers. But there's all these little things technology-wise. I'm like, oh, this looks kind of Star Wars. This looks kind of Marvel. They also threw in the end of the line, "Love you, Cap." I love you, Cap. Anthony Mackie, again, hilarious. That is fairly non-spoiler. Spoiler territory. I liked it. I think it was a good story, especially where we are now. Especially don't just blindly trust technology. Don't blindly kind of hate on technology. Really just like connect and touch grass. And I think that sentiment is very, very important right now. Obviously, it's a Netflix movie, and I think that is the right call for distribution. I'd like to see like what other like kind of fever dreams that the Russo brothers cook up. Again, like the whole movie is kind of predictable. It was just kind of fun, and all of the robot characters are very campy, but they have a lot of heart too. And also, is it gay? I don't know. Is it gay to date a robot? But there's that too. I don't know what I would change. Like Millie Bobby Brown did a really good job. She had a really emotional storyline with her brother and connecting with him and losing him and connecting with him and losing him. Honestly, emotional whiplash for her and A+. Overall, great time. I'm gonna head home. It is the next day now, and I wanted to give some updated thoughts on the movie that's not just like literally right out of the theater, because I did think more about it, and there were a lot of things that I did really like in this movie, and I think it is the depth and complexity of like the evil kind of characters. I found that each of them had their own motivation, albeit misguided, and thinking that they're doing the right thing and what made them change or not change. Skate's character, he thought he was doing like bringing like peace to everyone. He obviously had a hard childhood and stuff. I mean, obviously that is in zero defense of literally kidnapping a kid, committing murder to ensure that happens. But then he was also driven by the stakes of war, the mistreatment of robots, and then evening the playing field. There was a whole lot there. Overall, bad dude. We know he's a bad dude, but we get to see those moments where he thinks he's right, and I find that is very compelling in like an evil character. And I think that motivation to end the war is really the doctor's, like Ki Kwan's character. He was able to kind of trolley problem, like if we're able to just steal this one kid, he is in a coma, whatever, he's not living, we thought he was dead, to save humanity from this war on the robots. He really like tries to justify like the means outweighs like the results of everything. He is a little bit fucked up about it because like he's like, oh, like I'll give away for his consciousness to escape and go into like another robot and reach the outside world so he can like find a family in the X and stuff, without really considering that like he was the one who told his last living family member that he died. So like he could have tried to contact her in any way. He didn't. He started only getting a moral sense when his body started moving after the coma and everything. So there's a lot of complexities there, and I found it it's not really redeeming that like he also built a robot with all his memories and everything. Like technically he was able to help out beyond the grave, and the only reason I kind of mourned his death because he was Ki Kwan. His character though was awful though. I don't think that level of experimentation on other people, absolutely uncalled for. So he was very much like very pigeonholed in his man of science. He couldn't live with that anymore, and instead of like doing anything about the system or anything, he just left a little hole and was like, fuck it, I'm out, I'm gonna live on my own with the robots and stuff. And the last character was the butcher, which is Giancarlo Esposito. His character was kind of interesting to me because you just assume he was just like a kind of mindless government assassin at first, and then you realize like, oh no, he is very much like just a very anti-robot dude, which is like saying something when like obviously these robots have like memories and personalities and feelings and everything, but he's very much like a robot butcher. But we realize later on, it's like, oh, he's doing this on his own. And then as soon as Skate, like Stanley Tucci's character, was like had no qualms about like killing people to get to the one robot for Chris and stuff, he's like, oh, my hard line is not killing anything with a heartbeat. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? What are we doing here? And then he starts questioning everything. He's just like, is this right? Like, we're killing these things? And this man is just so much more heartless than robots. And like, that's the literal thing that made him turn at the end, where he's just like, I changed my mind because Skate has no humanity in him. Like, these robots have so much more heart, any sort of guidance. Like that man has less humanity than a robot. So I think I'm wrong. I'm gonna stop killing. I'm a log the fuck out and get out of here. There are a lot of like not so settling messaging about like essentially slavery, segregation, and then like trying to come back together. In addition to the undertone of like go outside and touch grass. It's very much like a warning tale. I feel like it's very relevant for the time we were in. I did enjoy the movie though. Again, I said it was like about a 3 out of 5 stars. Like it really was. Like even though a lot of the characters had heart, I thought some of the writing of the characters were well done. I just didn't really feel like so emotionally invested, and like because of the tone of the movie, it was a little bit more lighthearted. So it was probably more consumable for a lot of people. I'm glad I didn't take itself too seriously, but like I didn't get as emotionally invested in a lot of the things because again a lot of the story is like a little bit predictable, at least for my media relevant brain. And ending on like another note is like I think this could really work for like a video game. It felt very video game in a lot of sections, and I could see it being translated very well, especially in like the Chris Pratt's warehouse and stuff where they're like trying to hunt and find Michelle and whatever, and the robots and Chris and everything. There's just like a lot of video gamey things, also Sonic. Anyways, I will jump back to past me to do the outro and essentially what's in my bag at the premiere, but I thought I would share a lot of these more deeper thoughts now that I had time to sit on it. So please like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video. I am going to a few other screenings coming up too, so please subscribe if you want to see those and my opinion on those. But if you just want a fun little watch on Netflix, definitely recommend. And again, thank you for Netflix for inviting me out too. If I don't like something, I will actually say that. So it was fun. Like what? 3 stars? 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd? Like, you aren't gonna hate it, probably, unless you take it too seriously. Just don't take it too seriously. But then, like, why are you taking it too seriously? Anyways, bye. Also, epilogue, kind of, my bag is full of yarn. Literally 1 ball of yarn, because I started crocheting a hat for Paddington afterwards. I don't quite think this is the right gauge. It's really bubbling on me. But if you're wondering what it's like to be me, this. Okay, bye.